previous recording, we see how to create a project inside an Azure DevOps organization. So in this video, we are going to discuss about the Azure Board. So Azure Board provide software development teams with the interactive and customizable tools. It's provide a rich set of capabilities, including the native support of Agile, Scrum, Kanban board, process, and calendar view. Right, so let's go into our organization, the TechFeed 2023. I'm going to create two new projects. So let's name it as Scrum demo. And I'm going to select this project as Scrum. Let's go and create that. So it's take a while to create the project. So, and I'm going to create one more project. So let's name it as basic demo. And for this project, I'm to make sure I'm selecting the work item process as basic. So when you create a new project, so a project comes with a team. So if you go into the project settings, so you can see there is an option called teams. So by default, a project create a basic team, a single team. You can add multiple teams like a development team, and you can have a testing team and an automation teams, and you can have multiple teams inside a project. So an organization have multiple project, and a project can have multiple teams, and you can invite the team members from the individual teams. So now let's go into the boards of this basic project. And if you see here for the board of this basic demo, when I go into the work item, you can see the option like epic, issue, and task. So whereas when you go to the project of the Scrum demo, and if I go to the board view of this Scrum demo, you can see the option like bug, epic, feature, and product backlog items and test case. So the features are being different here. So based upon your requirement, you can select the work item process. So all right, so let's delete the Scrum demo. So to delete the projects, so you can go into the project settings, and you can see the option to delete the project. So let me delete this Scrum demo project. Now let's go into the basic demo projects and see into the board. You can have the option like work item, board, backlog, sprint, queries, and deliverable plans. Now let's see what is there in the work item. So as you can see, you can able to create an epic or an issue or a task. So let's create an epic. So let's name it, give a title as Learn Azure DevOps. This is our epics. Epics are the high level task. So under the epic, I can create a work item. So let's go into the work item, and I'm going to create a new issue. An issue is nothing but a small piece of work, right? So let's name it as, so understand Azure board. So let's go and save it. So you can relate the work item. So if you want to relate this work item to an existing work item, you can add that the hierarchy on this. So a parent and a child task. So you can relate this task to which work item. So if I go to the work item into the learning and learn Azure DevOps, so you can add an existing work item. So basically I'm going to add a link type as a child. So so your learn Azure DevOps is a parent, and you're going to add the understand Azure board as the child of this. So you can able to relate to work items here. So we have, let me save this. So we have two work items. So one is for our an epic, another one is an issue. The issue is nothing but a small piece of task what you are going to accomplish. So now let's go into the board view. So if I come to this, if you see here, we have multiple teams. If you see here, we have a basic demo team board and a development board, right? So if you go into the work item, so you can set this task into, uh, if you see this area and iteration, it is in the basic demo, right? So if you want to put this work item into a different team, you can select the appropriate team. So right now it is in the basic demo. So if I go into the boards, if I go into the basic demo team board, I can able to see a new task is being added, and you can see you can, once you are making progress, it is the to do status, and I can go and change the status, or I can go and assign the task to my name, right? So the user which I want to assign. So let's see how we can able to customize this board, right? So in case actually if you want to add a to do, doing and done, if you are blocked with something, if you want to add one more status into that, let's click on the configuration settings. So I'm going to select the column here, and I'm going to add another column on hold. So, and let's keep the remaining WPIP limit as 5, and let's save and close it. So now if you see, I can have an option to hold a task. So in case if I have any blockers, I can keep this task as holding, right? So now let's see, let's add one more task here. So understand, or we can put learn Azure repo. So that is our next action item. So if you see here, so you can see the state. So if you want to have multiple things like who is assigned to this task. So let's go into the settings again and go to the field. If you see here right now, it is showing only the status state field, right? So now I can go and add assign to, and if I want to know which iteration path it is, so let's go and add the field I'm interested to see, which is in the which area path this particular task is being created. So now if you see here, I can able to see the state, it is 2, and area path is basic and it is unassigned. I can go and assign to myself. So if you have multiple team members, you can able to assign to the multiple team members as well. So let's do few more things here. So you can do a lot of customization into the Azure board. When you come to here in the styling, you can add a styling as well. So if you want the block items need to be styled separately. So if in case actually if you want the area path or activation type, so you can go and change the coloring and styling into the custom. You can do more into the customization part. So when you come to the backlog, you can able to see all the list of items in the backlog. And when you come to the sprint, so basically a sprint, actually you will be iterating your items. So you can set the sprint start date, end date. Ideally, it will be a 2-week sprint or a 3-week sprint, and you can prioritize your task and you can iterate it on each sprint. So, and you can able to filter based upon the person or assign into that, and you can see the multiple options here like the task board, and you can have the backlog, and you can have the capacity of your team members, right? So if you have multiple team members, you can see the capacity of the team members, and in the analytics you can able to see the band down chart as well. So once you make progress. Right now, I didn't set any sprint start date or end date. Once you set the sprint start date and end date, and once you are tracking the items, you can see the band down chart as well as in the analytical tab. Or you can go and write some queries. If you want to filter out the things, so you can go to the query, and if you want to write a query assigned to or in a particular state, so right, if you want to see some of the tasks which are all in the closed state or in the active state, or which are all been in the design phase or in the planning phase, right? So you can able to filter that. So in this case, actually, let me put the query for doing state. So I can save this query and name it as doing. And if I run this query, so let me see that any work item that is in the doing state. So if I go to the board, right now there is no task in the doing state. So let's go put this Azure repo as a doing states. And if I go to the query, and if I select the doing, and if you see here, the learn Azure repo is in the doing state. So that's all about this Azure board. So we will come up with another video. We'll discuss about the Azure repos and more about Azure boards. Thanks for watching.